started earlier, RIT taking on St. Peter's, and that first Elios map went down to 99-0, and then RIT took it back, snatching victory again from the jaws of defeat in that situation, to then go forth and steamroll their second map on Elios. Now, will we see that again here in DePaul University against Canisius squad? Again, these are two more middle-of-the-road teams, and I expect a bloodbath.
Bloodbath is what it could be, and again, it comes down to these compositions, especially after the changes we had earlier in the official patch notes. DePaul are going to be running the double bubble. We saw that in the last match, the double bubble was played a little bit on control, but then it was mostly a Ryan Zarya matchup that won out. So I would think we might see a bit of that. It's two different strategies. Both of them, or at least there is going to be a symmetric teleporter coming out from DePaul, but instead of using it to get to the point, they just use it to get closer to the middle where they want to battle it out.
Yeah, so just introducing all of these, we got Prime, Icarus, Chronos, Echo Loco, Zeph, and Tangerine. Tangerine being the first filed for the side DePaul University. What, Special K, Tiger, Infamy, Spudinator, Mellow Monster, and E-Boneless coming in from Canisius College.
It looks like that is going to be a first point cap after some great kills in the sky from Prime on this Echo. And one thing I'm noticing is that the Zenyatta on the side of DePaul is not really a hero you see anymore after some nerfs to Zen a little bit earlier, a few weeks ago. But I mean, if you can follow up on where the Discord Orb is, that gives your team such a great kill advantage, especially when you've got an Echo.
Looking on Infamy, big punch, almost taking out the Chronos, Winston on the other side. Big focus here from Echo, Loco, and company. Almost the first team. No, we're not going to get it. We got a team kill Bell or two last game. Not going to happen today. Special K is going to get staggered out there towards the end. So another, what, 10% before Special K comes back?
Yeah. I mean, they're getting close to the Shatter, but the ult that's already online is that duplicate. So they can try to get a Reinhardt of their own, get their own Shatter. They also have the Graviton Surge and the Primal Rage pretty close by. So there's a lot right now that DePaul can use, and because they have a more mobile comp, they don't have to play directly on the point, and you see they're going to be able to find them from above.
Now the copy. Reinhardt always going to be a prime suspect for that ability. Charge comes in. Prime swips it around, and now getting not one, but two. There's the second swat. What, these hammer shots and more. Now coming back just in the nick of time, focusing beam onto Melly Monster, pushing him back to spawn. 70% or so for the side of DePaul.
And it was a bit of an overcommitment. I'm not sure if the Primal Rage was needed, but it was a great play there with the Reinhardt just able to charge and get the Shatter. And now DePaul are only one fight away from taking this first round of Ilios. They still have a lot of other things that they have. I mean, the Transcendence, I think, might be the biggest thing that they have right now. They did make sure that they use that in the right scenario, but 13% from winning this point.
There's a grab to the middle as well. Infamy is not in it because Infamy is dead, deceased, finished, finito. That's Icarus finding himself a trio of kills at the end as well. The Tiger does not strike here as Echo Loco takes out his counterpoint, and DePaul University takes map 1 on Elios, 100-0.
Yeah, Nano Zarya at the end from Canisius, not enough, and you see the power of the double bubble. Right now, the Winston on the side of DePaul is just having a field day. Chronos able to jump in and out of fights, able to take the high ground, able to spam away with their Tesla cannon, and Echo Loco getting a lot of charge off of those engagements. And I mean, the Grab Dragon combo, I wasn't even thinking about it. It was online, and they executed it to perfection. Canisius College now, they're going to try to do a little bit more of a matchup, but for a second it looks like they're going to play double bubble, but they're going to go for a traditional dive comp, which is not something you expect here on Well.
Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, obviously getting boops into the well is awesome. It's only something that comes off the back of some CC abilities, but on paper, again, can't agree with you more. The dive comp coming out from side of DePaul. Wait, no, you're talking about Canisius, excuse me. Yep, again, I get teams mixed up sometimes. Special K, that's who we're looking at. Jump over the top, Winston's the focus. No, Mercy's the focus after Tangerine almost makes the mistake of just pocketing their Winston, the Chronos player, just a little bit too much. Now, is that supposed to be like one of the, I can't remember what the word is, but a word that sounds like another word like Cronus, like Kronos, like Chronos, that's supposed to be Chronos? I don't know. There's something there, I'm sure of it.
There's
Speaking of,
probably something fun there.
there's probably something fun there. Chronos on the side here, getting a lot of support, now jumping up top, trying to get damage in edgewise in different positions. So the sky is where Amphamy turns those sights as the copy comes on to the D.Va, so 3 tanks on the side of DePaul right now. Hyper aggressive, and Spudinator not able to get out of it. Amphamy turns tail as well, not going to happen. Self-destruct over the top, full shot does not land because it doesn't need to. Tiger takes a tumble off the side, and this is a Canisius College trying to come back at this one.
And here's the problem with trying to run traditional dive versus the double bubble. If you're in a dive anyone, it has to be the Zen. The Zenyatta generally is going to have that peel from the Mercy, and you're also going to have the potential bubble from the Zarya. There's a lot of abilities that the teammates can use around them to make sure that they don't actually get dived on. Double bubble works a lot better because you still have the Zarya to protect you. Meanwhile, right now Tiger and Special K have not been able to find anyone that can really help them, but now Chronos and I've just bait them into that Dragon.
Yeah, the jump, not exactly what was needed. Chronos now taking just getting super aggressive, really just bullying players up top with the Primal Rage. Still has a lot of ultimates on board for the side of DePaul. Prime's close to it as well.
They still have the grab, but they do not have anything to combo with. They could try to just throw some Prime Sickies in there as long as the D.Va Tiger doesn't eat them. That should be a great way to wipe this up. But Canisius swapping on to the Widowmaker very late in this. They're gonna not be able to build up an invert site just yet, but they do have that tactical advisor, and if it doesn't get Prime here, it's gonna be a waste.
Yeah, trying to get back out to the thick of things, and Spudinator just a little bit too far. Big headshot onto this Zenyatta, and so with Prime taking out Eboneless as well, that's going to be a Zenyatta-less match for right now. DePaul University taking advantage of ultimates and more. Self-destruct over the side, and that is a Chronos Winston that barely got out of that one. Special K up on point, looking for boops and more into the middle. That CC doesn't get him exactly what he wanted to. In the last second, the Transcendence comes out for DePaul University, nada for Canisius College. That's what they're staring down the barrel of right now. Just outside a full team kill as we finish another Elos match, 99-0 for the side of DePaul.
DePaul just looked insanely clean there, and yeah, Chronos, that was so well timed. Avoids the D.Va bomb by jumping in so well, is able to time the jump right out of it. Almost dies. I mean, that's a play I would have not been wanting to make. That's a very risky one. That could have turned the tide of the fight if they died, or they just dying, not even from the D.Va bomb, just falling into the well, but they zoned themselves out enough to avoid the blast, are able to stay alive, and as you see, they are the kill participation leader with 28 eliminations overall. And this double bubble comp from DePaul coming out very early and very strong. It seems like Canisius aren't really sure how to match it just yet.
Well, for sure. Who needs a front line? You got the double bubble. Love to see it. Love to see it. And the utilization of such is just, or can be super hard to execute. Much easier said than done. That's the phrase there. But really does come out, and I think that this was marked by a DePaul University squad that used their tank ultimates just really like across different parts of team fights, right? It's almost one of the most common mistakes, I think, for some teams to make, to drop, the each of the roles ultimates next to each other, two support ultimates, two DPS ultimates, two tank ultimates. Obviously, sometimes two DPS ultimates is literally what the doctor ordered. Frequently, it's not, especially for your little Winston action and your Zarya action. But fantastically split apart and played very, very well for DePaul University, pushing up 299-0s.
I think what you said there is just perfectly said, because you especially support ultimates, you don't want to use them at the same time there. Double bubble, they don't really work together. I mean, there's no reason to use a Primal Rage into a Graviton Surge because you'll get more damage done with your Tesla Cannon. It's just going to hit everyone in it. It's going to weaken them a lot. So you'd have someone else just finish it up with Primary Fire. That time, I think the biggest thing was how they played it. A lot of teams, they just force the Zarya Winston and don't actually know how to execute them in tandem. At the beginning, when you have your Winston and Zarya, I mean, you're pocketing them when they dive in, but you can play a bit more split when the Winston has Primal Rage. Chronos was doing a great job of that, where they would play, on high ground. They'd still have a line of sight for the Zenyatta or the Mercy to get to them if they need to, but when they have that Primal Rage, they know they have that out. They know they have that extra health they can get when they press Q, so a bit more aggressive there. Otherwise, pretty passive, making sure that Zarya is getting charge off of them, and it's just a match made in heaven when you can execute it like that.
Hey, Jack, you with me?
Yes, I am. Can you not hear me?
That was, yeah, no, just a little bit of, yeah, just making sure you're still with me. All gravy. I'm lost and alone without you, Jag.
Makes two
Please
of
continue,
us. I'm
sir.
glad we're here together, but I think right now Canisius is hoping that they can try to find something on our second map, which is going to be Blizzard World once again.
There you go. Yes, sir. This is going to be DePaul University on attack on Blizzard World. We just saw a very hard-fought match between our RIT and St. Peter's squad on this map. Both teams making it within, what, 10 meters? Just literally a hop, skip, and a jump away from the end. So just outside formal overtime situations in your Overwatch game. Map number 3, guaranteed. Volskaya, map number 4 and 5, Junkertown and Busan, respectively, not guaranteed in any way, shape, or form, especially the way that DePaul took this first map on Elios just so definitively, Jag.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do it any better than that. I don't know how many deaths they had, but I want to say it was less than 5 overall. I don't even know if they had any deaths. Honestly, I'm trying to think back, and I'm trying to think how many members fell on the side of DePaul throughout that matchup. I think the Zen fell one time, and that might have been it. I'm not sure. It was a very great job by them. I mean, you can't get much cleaner than 100-0 both times. It's a full shutout for them on the side of DePaul, but Canisius, they got to just rebound from that. Maybe double bubble isn't their thing. They realize already that they can't really run the Reinhardt Zarya into the double bubble like they tried to do on that first point, but there can be some adaptations they can do to try to survive it, whether the storm a bit better. You don't want to force the mirror matchup if you're not prepared. That's the biggest thing. It's better to play to your comforts and try to find a counter within them.
I'm with it. Yeah, maybe just not a double bubble kind of team. I prefer Bazooka Joe, Stride, Five Gum. Who knows? A lot of different options out there. We're gonna be
I
heading
see.
into our. There you go. There you go. That's why we do it. We're gonna be heading into map number 2. I'm gonna be waiting for a voice in my head to tell me if we're ready or if we are gonna go to a very, very short break, and then be back with you guys in just a couple of minutes. They say it's not a problem to talk to yourself; it's only a problem when you start to answer yourself. So as of now, I'm in the clear. We'll be back with you guys in a couple of minutes. And we are back, Overwatch fans. Canisius College taking on DePaul after a map number 1 stomping. Just gotta call it like it is, Jag.
Yep, it was a stomp. There were signs of life for Canisius, but they're going to have to do a bit better than they just did to give themselves a chance in this series. And one thing I want to say is that roller coaster that we just saw on Blizzard World looks really fun. I want to ride it one day. Make it happen, Blizzard. Make it happen for real. But in the meantime, Canisius, they want to make anything happen besides getting shut out like they just did. Sides, as we talked about before, have swaps to DePaul. They're going to be on attack first, and they are going to be running the Ryan Zarya. And I like the Hanzo a lot, but I'm really just to see how this Tracer works out for Prime, how they're going to play this. And they're going to be going up against double shield, so that's going to be very hard for them to just run in with how Canisius is playing on the high ground right now.
Yes, sir. No more double bubble. Different flavor. It's double shields. Prime in the back. Looking to find an easy K early. I don't think that Spudnator actually, definitely knows now, but I don't think Spudnator knew that the Tracer damage was coming from behind. Not 100% sure. It can be easy to get lost in here. Prime looking for a K onto the Ana. There's another nade and a recall now as Crow Nose takes out not 1 but 2, doubling up in the front lines. DePaul University wrapping up another with Jumanji, Spudnator, Special K, Melee Monster, and that's going to be all but the team kill, Bell Jag.
It is, and I think the thing was that Canisius actually had an interesting comp that could work. The problem is that they did not play in the right position. If you're going to play it on any high ground, you want to play it back all the way at the end of the point, kind of where the boat is hanging from right now, where the cart's going to be coming out in a sec from. Because that way you don't get forced off of that first high ground like they did. You got the Torgrid turret that can take out the Tracer if they try to approach you, but there they tried to go for a full rotation. They got caught out. During it, their Ana in particular was kind of left all alone with no one to hold, and that's a shatter that's going to miss.
Yes, it will. Chronos investing the hammer there after Prime missed a sticky grenade from the Tracer as well. The idea here is that DePaul wanted to be able to get free real estate coming out from first point, but I'm not sure if those two ultimates were worth it.
That was a bad investment. It did not work out. There is nothing on the market right now. That's going to be the first fight. That's the first fight I think that Canisius has actually won so far. Didn't get all the kills, but now they lost Infamy, and there's going to be the Coalescence. Yeah,
I really, again, just not the best of plays there. Coalescence out. Now Infamy switching on over to the McCree. We've seen some crazy things from McCree players so far on stream tonight. This is DePaul University keeping up the theme.
Yeah, you swap to the McCree because you basically want to shut down Prime. I mean, you've got Jumanji already with the Symmetra turret, so there's a lot of CC you can get. You get the Accretion of Tiger. Like, there's 4 CC abilities, 5 if you count the boot, but I was also looking at the Sleep Dart. So there's a lot that can shut down this Tracer, but the primary thing would be a Brigitte, which they have not committed to. And they're going to use the Symmetra wall in a way that I'm not sure that's a smart thing, because the cart's just going to pass right through, and that's going to put them in a weird position.
Yeah, getting there might be a different story. This is bisection decently well, but yeah, now it's passed a little bit, and that actually gets past a teammate's shield there, and now a nasty charge, but completely negated from our sound barrier. That was melee monsters there for the side. Canisius College, Grav and more, and players are barely...
I think we might have lost. Yeah, I think we lost Tugboat there for a second.
I had to mute, I'm sorry. That was weird. Yeah, so the Dragons barely even had a target there towards the end. Grav comes out and they were all dead by the time Dragons landed.
Dragon itself was able to find one. It's a fight that, again, these fights are looking a lot closer than they were on Ilios, which is a good sign for Canisius, but they've taken out Chronos. We talked about how important it is to take out the main tank, but what happens after this? I mean, they're not pushing up, they're not playing too aggressively, and now they're running a Roadhog instead of, oh boy, instead of a Zarya.
Yeah, so I may not play a whole lot of Hanzo, but that looked like Icarus was having the head of Spudinator on that. That's a pull, and that's a head right there. Jumanji throwing a little bit of turret damage on the end there just to make it pretty. A lot of damage against Jumanji. This Tracer Prime is looking to deliver kills like Amazon. Love to see it. Special K in that kill delivery apartment as well as the Fire Strike comes out on the very end there, forcing Prime back. Infamy does find that body shot. Stop this one. Canisius College, stop the bleeding for now.
And it was that shatter from Special K that put things in a better position. They're able to shut down the Coalescence because they saw them out of it. Tangerine has no way to escape it. They're going to use a very aggressive Dragons, and they're going to get one off of it.
Main tank as well. Tiger, the only one finding a nasty headshot against Prime. Pretty sure that was off the back of a hook as well. Much easier said than done. Hook and Tracers getting those headshots. Jumanji, a lot of damage against, caught off in the back lines, and DePaul University getting a lot of damage here.
And they almost have a crowdfund surge. They don't have the Dragons, they just used it, but a great combo would be just throwing the Pulse Bomb in the middle of it, hoping that you can get some squishier heroes and get the kills there, but they're going to lose Prime. They're going to get stunned out by the Flashbang.
Infamy playing that role perfectly, getting these Tracers out of commission. Prime's been shut down from great parts, and also he's not been getting the ultimate charge that he really needs. Now, Sim wall out, that ultimate providing a lot, and there's the shatter from the side. Canisius College looking to hold strong here as Special K gets all the attention he does not want. There's the Grav, there's the sticky, and that's what's on the docket. That's the Symphony sung for the side of DePaul University.
When's the last time you saw a 3-person Pulse Bomb kill? I can't remember, but it was the perfect play. Like
29, 8, something like that.
Definitely
it's been a while.
It too.
Yeah, last decade here. There's the thing for you, right? That was the 20-teens.
Exactly. But there comes out, able to land it. I think they hit the McCree first, and then immediately found 2 tanks that were weak off of it. That Pulse Bomb nerf, I'm still not a fan of it. I understand like why it has to be weaker because it's a lot easier to hit on tanks versus squishier, those EPS and support characters. But I mean, the Pulse Bomb, it used to be one of the best ultimates in the game just because of the skill it required. Now it's not as good, but there Prime coming up clutch. That's going to be 2:46 on the clock for DePaul if they go to overtime, which is a great time to finish up on Blizzard World.
Yes, it is. There is no completion of the match guaranteed here by any means. So far, showcasing the Doomfist, but we'll talk more about DePaul and these setups. Prime on the Echo, not against that one whatsoever. We've seen Icarus there, Chronos there, Echo there, Loco, I guess we'll refer to him as, might be a little bit easier. Zeph on the Zenyatta, seen that one as well. Tangerine on Mercy. So standard stuff outside of Prime on the Echo, right?
It's a comp that can work. I think the biggest problem is that you really don't have a lot of healing for your tanks, so they have to play a bit more passive. The Zen Orb does not do a lot of healing, and Mercy does a bit more healing, but they're both only one heal targets as opposed to like Baptiste that can do group healing as well as Lucio or Moira. So you got to play this a lot differently. I mean, if your goal is just to have Tangerine pocket Prime and get kills, it works out very well. But if they aren't able to pop off, it's dangerous, especially because Jumanji's on the Ashe, so there is a hit scan counter, and Infamy did get some mileage on the Doomfist prior.
That's fair. Prime up to 40% though. Seems like those dividends paying out so far. Up to 50 now as Jumanji doth fall. Canisius College, a slightly weakened offense for right now. Focusing beam coming out against Special K. That's the Reinhardt for Canisius as Jumanji is respawned and will be back with team in a few seconds. On board with Prime here is Infamy in the back, not really finding a way in edgewise. Up the top. And even the hit scan shots not really landing against this Prime Echo. Now has that duplicate online. Tangerine about 50%. More ultimates on board for DePaul definitely than Canisius.
Mortality Field having to be used, and they decide to go for the Doomfist. They're just going to go all the way in. They're going to commit now. Oh! Doomfist ultimate, and it's
perfect positioning here for Prime. I like the little... I like the Ana hanging on here towards the end. I like what Melly Monsters did there. It's kind of just like a little insult. It's like, okay, you might have taken down my teammates. I'm not gonna go so quietly into the night though.
It's a huge sleep, but unfortunately, because they're in the duplicate form, they're gonna be able to stay alive once they get out of it. But it's a little moral victory. But let's see if Canisius can get any actual victories here. They have been shut out for the last almost 2 minutes now. They do have support ultimates, but now they swap to a double hit scan, attempt to shut down Prime.
Sir, still looking at this first point, first tick of progress, and just like that, bare initial engagement equals in a Canisius College squad that simply has to back up.
And I've got to ask you, like, have you seen so many dragons get value like this? Because they're not even being thrown into grabs, but Icarus is using that sonar arrow so smartly, able to zone at least one person out, and has been able to get a kill here and there. They don't have the grab dragon combination, but they don't even need it, and they can just have other things like Prime spamming away or Chronos spamming away. So it's not the end-all be-all. You can just use the grab in other ways, including just zoning. There's a lot of opportunities here, and Icarus is going to get kills without even needing a dragon.
Yeah, and no Mercy on board means no push for the next 15 seconds for Canisius College, especially with an Ana that does have Nano on board. There's window invested, and just like that, Icarus finds another one way in edgewise. Body shots against Jumanji, headshots against Infamy, and this is a DePaul University squad that's 3% across 6 players away from having 6 full ultimates.
They're killing the Melee Monster, that's going to sit them back, and now DePaul has all 6 ultimates online. Canisius, they're going to have about 4, but after using that Amplification Matrix, that's going to be an ultimate they're going to want back. I think the biggest thing is, can they land the Shatter? If they can hit everyone, then all those ultimates that DePaul have, they might not even matter, but if they miss one of the supports and they're able to stay alive, they're going to be able to keep them healed throughout it, whether it is via the Valkyrie or the Transcendence.
Yeah, different methods to achieve the same goal. That's really the name of the game for the amount of options for DePaul so far. Transcendence out. Nobody's dying for DePaul for the time being. Except there's the purple landing. Prime gets taken out of duplication. Very, very easy. Tiger pulling out the whole hog. Not going to be enough, though. Did switch decently recently, and there's the Grab Dragons combination. Looking like 2017 all over again.
There's no more ultimates left. DePaul will use the entire bank, and now it's up to Infamy to see if they can touch. You see all the quick swaps that they're not going to be able to, and it's going to be a full hold and a full cap for DePaul, who have looked absolutely ferocious in this series.
Yeah, this is just DePaul with their foot on that gas. No reason to let it off anytime soon. Looking very, yeah, just real solid, real solid. Shout outs to Infamy on the side of Canisius for doing what he can there on the Tracer at the end, but just with a DePaul University squad that is coordinated, knows exactly what they need to do. Last little bit of Blizzard World, no contest possibilities. Big shout outs here to both Ryan players, right? The main tanks popping off on both sides. It is not, I wouldn't say it necessarily that it's the main tank of Canisius College's fault that they have not gotten any of these ticks of progress yet.
I think that Special K is trying their best to make some big plays, but the rest of the team just isn't able to follow up on them. And you can tell that's kind of a communication issue, right? Like, if you're going to be diving in as the Reinhardt, you need the rest of your team to be there. You need the Zarya bubble or whatever off tank you have. You need them to be supporting you. But unfortunately, in that situation, we've seen Special K kind of either walk into just a lot of damage and they're not able to get out, or the rest of the team falls around them. So they've got good mechanical players. We've seen them have some big heroic plays, but you don't play Overwatch as a solo player. This is not ladder. This is a very team-based event. This is a very team-based league, and we've seen the teams that are able to get that synergy and those comms on fire are the ones that are winning matches.
Yeah, so these main tanks, Special K in particular, doing a good job of like shielding out their team from damage, but when you have a full 75 seconds in a match that's basically wasted by a single player, Icarus, on the side of DePaul, being able to take out members reliably from a main support to a DPS. I think he even got the Zarya over on the side of Canisius at one point. Not 100% sure, but that was literally just procedural, one after the next there, and that equaled out to, I think, over a minute of time eaten out for the side of Canisius's offense. Those are the times you literally just say, like, don't even peek, man. Just come back, sit behind a wall, sit on a big health pack, something like this, because we need to get together a full six. And immediately, and kind of during this time is when DePaul got their full six ultimates available. So that was really when they reached, their final form, I guess, as kids would say or whatever. But I think we're going to go to a very short break here before we get the third map in. And with it, so we're going to be back with you guys in just a minute. And the next Heap and dose of Overwatch we got for you is the Volskaya kind. Our 2CV map comes on in between DePaul University and Canisius. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm here with my man Jag.
And it's been a one-sided affair. I think that's the nicest way to put it. DePaul has been in the driver's seat. They have been very decisive and very clean. They got 2-0 on Ilios, 100-0 on both points. They full capped on Blizzard World. They full held on their defense. And now on Volskaya, they're going to be starting on the attack. Once again, they can sniff blood in the water. They know that this is their game to take. And Canisius, they're trying to find something to bring them back. And this is a hybrid double shield comp. Depending on how they play it, honestly, it could work. Especially against DePaul, they're going to be running a traditional dive. We're talking about traditional dive isn't the most popular right now, but here it is, out in full form for DePaul.
Not against it at all. We do have a sub in here. Infamy out for Yuba99. Yuba99 getting some value already. Sleep and a trap onto Chronos, which equals a quick exit from this first team fight for DePaul University. Canisius off to a good start here.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Yuba99 is a Junkrat extraordinaire, which is my nicer way of saying that's really the only character they play, but we've seen them dominate on this Junkrat time and time again, so they wanted to subbing up. They're going to try it here, and Junkrat, not necessarily a meta character, but can still do a lot of damage.
Infamy gets absolutely yeeted out of this top window as soon as he gets there. An unwelcome visitor indeed. Spudinator falling in the thick of things to a Prime Tracer and a Orb of Discord there from the Zeph DePaul University player. Wholesale wins for DePaul University on point 1. And this will be this will be a full hold. Spudinator is the only one that didn't fall in the last 10 seconds or so. And yeah, they're going to take all of that.
Tiger going to swap on to the Roadhog, and I like this a lot more now than I did before because there's no bubble to mitigate a hook. You can mitigate the damage if the Diva is there with her defense matrix, but that's very risky for her to fly into that, so they could try to shut down some of these more divey mobile heroes. But Prime going to get Jumanji, and with the Pulse Bomb in hand, this might be the beginning of a snowball. Looks like we have another disconnect from Tugboat Summit. Try to call this as we go. There's going to be a great play from Icarus too. There, Chrono's able to find one more, and like I said, the snowball is there with 3 ultimates, almost 4 on the side of DePaul. Even if there is a contest with Canisius, I think this might be all that's been written.
Transcendence out, so Zeph's going to negate out any damage that has been gotten from DePaul in the past couple of seconds. Tiger's there, Yuba falls very quickly, and now the attention turns to the Tiger. Spin to win attempted so far, getting in damage edgewise, and is going to be... Oh, never mind. That's a well-placed Zeph Zenyatta barrage. I think it hit like 4 in a row right there.
And the volley was deadly in Prime. They started off with a Pulse Bomb. They ended with a Pulse Bomb. That's how great that fight went for them in 3 fights. 2 points, 4:48 on the clock for DePaul. We talked about this before of RIT. I mean, when you finish with more time you started with on Assault, you know you did well on your attack.
Yes, and 4:48 is certainly more time than you start with. Looking at a Canisius College squad, again, rocking a hard play situation for them as of right now. In every way, shape, and form, Jag, this is a reverse sweep that is going to be required from Canisius if they want to take this matchup against DePaul.
It was, and I don't mind the Junkrat pick. I think it got value, especially on that first engagement. But DePaul realized, we don't have to force this. We have the respawn advantage, so why take the 5v6? Let's just back out and then dive some of their more immobile targets. Then they were able to find the Rhine later on, and one special K falls. There isn't much they can do now. Canisius gonna have a very interesting attack strategy. They are gonna have a Symmetra, so I'm wondering if they're gonna try to either teleport straight to kind of the middle structure before the point, the one that we're kind of floating overhead now, or if they're going to try to go all the way to the right, go for a flank strategy instead. That's a very old strategy that really isn't used nearly as much anymore, but they're going to have double builders, so the Symmetra turrets as well as the Torbjorn turret going to be online for Canisius. It's like you said, they got to win this to stay alive.
Yeah, a lot of turret action from the side of Canisius between the Torb and that Symmetra. Oh, no, there you go. There's the trickiness. The teleport off to the side to try and prove a full rotation for the Canisius College squad. A little bit of volley is sent down the middle so that they can kind of fake that out there. The teleporter obviously left, and the rotation to the top. A vertical advantage now going to be attempted. Tiger gets everything in a bag of chips thrown at him initially to take down 400 health or something like that. An early take a breather from him. Yuba falling, some longer range damage from Prime and Icarus. And DePaul University is going to be fighting this one up 5-6 for the time being.
And you see why you don't really see the Symmetra strat come out that much on the other side, because you can play at range of this comp. They're going to neither res a great Diva booster.
Wow.
And now, I mean, Jumanji and Melon Monster, they're kind of just stuck out here.
Yeah, so trying to get out from dodge while the getting is good. Jumanji and Spudinator. No, okay, yeah, actually now they're gonna have teammates there, and that did not result in a in a more of a stagger situation. Could have been nasty though, Jag.
Could have been indeed, but it's not. Icarus already has that Dragon Strike online. There is no Zarya, but there is a pull from Orisa, and that's like a mini grab in its own right. But again, they're not even gonna need it.
DePaul University may have lost a player so far. Not 100% sure. It's
I don't
one-sided.
think anyone has died yet for them. I think, and besides that one, like Def on the first try at their attack, I don't think anyone has died for most elsewhere.
Yeah, like while DePaul University has been on defense, I do not believe they have lost a character yet. The ultimate charges would also sing that song as well, looking at 75, 90, 69, and 86 respectively, outside of the DPS core that are all glowing.
Yeah, they've got that Visor, they've got the high ground, so as long as they can avoid the Reinhardt shield, they could just try to use that aggressively. Again, I mean, Icarus is getting, every time it's Icarus or Prime, one of these two are getting an early pick, and they are going to get the Resurrection, but that's an ability they're going to get that to be burned very early.
Almost finding another head. He's looking for it. The burst shots coming out, not going to land towards the end. Much harder shots to a really, really mobile Echo player there. Now Tac Visor out, Dragon's to the middle, so, oh man, Tac Visor's gonna take him out outside, Dragon's gonna take him out inside. Fantastic utilization of the dual DPS ultimates from Prime Icarus. Echo, Loco, getting damage in the back, Jag.
How do they keep letting Icarus get away with this? How do they keep getting like one kill every time?
Yeah.
Like that Dragon's like coming from very far away because Icarus has had very good positioning, not avoiding the Roadhog, trying to play not too close to them, but every time it just somehow, some way it gets kills, and they still have 3 ultimates in their pink for DePaul, so this could be another full hold.
Yeah, they used both DPS ultimates there, but now this looks like a literal fight between Prime and Icarus. They have not left between like 3% of each other in quite a while, and they were at 10% about 10 seconds ago. Big stuff from them so far. Transcendence now invested from Spudinator from the Canisius College side. Yuba not in the middle of those, and the res attempted, not gonna happen. Prime takes out one off the top, the resing Mercy with regular shots, and invests the Tri-Rocket on the second.
No, if you wanted to know if anyone had died on the side of DePaul, there was Echo Loco falling. Now they're gonna have to go to the Wrecking Ball to get back in time, so that's big because you don't have a Diva Matrix anymore to eat something like a whole hog from Tiger. So they might have to see the commitment of the Transcendence, but you can just boot people away. I mean, Transcendence, the only way you can kill someone in it is if you throw them off the side of the map, and with that crowd control ability, Roadhog can do it.
And that is true. There is a part of this map that's definitely possible. The dive coming in solo from Special K by himself as Jumanji falls in the back. Prime utilizing the end of that Tac Visor ability in the Tri-Rockets to take out one. He gets himself second in the form of Spudinator. And that's a full hold for DePaul University after a completely one-sided affair across maps 1 and 2.
Yep, it was all 3 maps where DePaul was just absolutely on their A game, and it's not surprising after playing UTA so close. UTA, which has consistently been one of the best teams in EGFC, so the fact that they brought it to 5 maps last week kind of indicates how they would do this week against Canisius, who have unfortunately been struggling a bit. They were not able to get things going in this game, so they're gonna have to be going back to the drawing board. But one lesson is to be learned is that, you know, when you lose, you're able to see where you made your mistakes and come back stronger next week after you do VOD review.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more there, Jag. There's lessons to be learned here, and I can be certain that Canisius College, they're going to use this next time they play against DePaul University or any of the other teams in the middle or higher echelon here for the EGFC. But yeah, so running through map scores, yeah, this is unfortunately goose eggs put up across all the way for Canisius. We got to report the news as it comes. 2-0 map number 1 on Elios for the side of DePaul, 3-0 for the side of DePaul on map number 2, and then now Volskaya as well, unfortunately going down 2-0 fashion for the side of DePaul. Canisius, again, hard fought Put away wet.
Yeah, they're put away. But I believe we have an interview coming up with Kronos, who's currently waiting in our interview lobby. So we're going to be right back after a very brief break to be able to talk to them about how this game went down.
She's a lucky find. I hope you treat her right. Maybe with some time you'll forget me. I don't need you now. Don't even think about it. You couldn't get me back if you tried. Don't give me that. Already had your chance. No reason to wonder why. Once upon a time I was in love with a boy who didn't miss me now. I guess you're not missing much. Guess I'm not much to me. Guess I'm not much to me.
And we are back, Overwatch fans. Little interview action coming at you from DePaul University. We got the tank, that's Kronos, coming in to give us a minute of his time after the game. Kronos, you with us?
Yes, I am with you guys.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. My man Jack's got a couple questions for you. I'll round you out at the end.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. And first, I got to ask you, I mean, last week you had a very tough matchup against UT Arlington. It was very close. Did that matchup prepare you at all for this one? Like, did it give you guys confidence that you're able to go all the way to map 5?
So like, there's one thing that we like focused on. It was like improving our dive comp. That was like the main focus for this week's scrims, and I think that's why like after today, I saw the patch notes come out. I was really happy that Winston got buffed.
That's interesting
And
because actually, I was going to ask about that. I mean, what do you think about the Winston buff? You guys play a little bit of Reinhardt here and there, but you also played a lot of double bubble. So I got to ask you, with that Winston buff, how powerful do you think he is now, and how much do you think he'll be used in the future?
I think he will be like a really dominant pick. Not like that dominant, but like a top tier, like tier 1, I think. But and I think mostly I would say like you're gonna play it like a brawl comp, like a double bubble with a Reaper. I think that's how the meta is gonna probably look like. I think so, yeah.
Interesting. But Tugboat, I know you got some questions of your own.
Yeah, I got some burning ones over here. I gotta know, Kronos. So you played a couple different characters here. Which of those heroes did you play in this matchup with Canisius College, and which do you feel like you really ran the best
So in this in this match,
in this
I
matchup
think,
here tonight? Yes, sir.
yeah, my Winston's definitely the best.
Hands down. Hey, there's a reason for it, and can I connect in there to my man Jack's question as well? Dive and Winston in general, the monkey is looking fierce, that's for sure. Want to ask you next about your name there. I was theorizing at one point that was supposed to be like, so I still can't remember the name of the word where it's like a word that sounds like another one. I was theorizing those Kronos, like the God of War characters. Kronos supposed to be like any kind of wordplay there?
So like I got my name influenced like by like Carpe, so I kind of look up like a Latin name. So I found this Chronos. It's like CHRO NOS. It's like the god of time or something, and I really loved with it. But like a lot of people has the same like gamer tag for that, so I kind of change it to the sounds the same, but it's like different spelling. Chronos.
I knew it. I sniffed it out.
I know.
There you go.
It's like you probably guessed it right, but that's why I have my tag called Chronos.
Interesting stuff. What all tags have, or most tags have very, very interesting stories, right, Jag?
Yeah, I mean, mine's just my initials, but I mean, that's a cool story that you had there. And I mean, Tugboat, like, you called it, so congratulations. That's like 10 points to whatever house you are in Harry Potter.
I think I remember the houses. What? Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and the
Slytherin.
snake one. Slytherin, there you go. Slytherin. There you go. 10 points to Slytherin. I'll be the bad guy. Kronos, appreciate you coming in and giving us a minute of your time after the game. And congrats to you on the 3-0 W over the Canisius College squad.
All right, thank you guys for inviting me here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We only have winners here in the post-game interviews. We got some more awesome Overwatch action coming at you a little bit later, but that's going to be it for myself, FBI Tugboat, and my man Jag. We got loads more Overwatch action. We'll get that panned up here so you guys can tell specifically which teams are playing at which times. Rider University taking on Siena College next here in about 40 minutes or so. We might start that earlier if we can. Marist College, another heavy contender here in the EGFC, taking on the University of Cincinnati. University of Cincinnati, a new team here with us. University of Tennessee, another new team, going on against UT Arlington, so they'll be tossed straight into the fire with a tough matchup late Eastern Standard Time against one of the heavy dogs here in the EGFC. I'm FBI Tugboat. You can find me over there on Twitter at FBI_Tugboat. Man, Jag here, you can find him over on Twitter at JagCasts. No space, no underscores, no nothing. He's a man of simplicity. As well, it's my man Juke at JUKE. Juke Casts, no spaces, no underscores. My man is a man of simplicity. If you enjoyed what you saw here, production and casting wise, that's where you can find more of it. Or just stay tuned to EGFC. Follow away the channel because you'll see these beautiful mugs and this velvet voice on these competitions very frequently. What, it's Tuesday Super Smash, right, Jag?
Yep, then we also got FIFA on Mondays, League on Saturdays, Overwatch Thursdays, and Rocket League Wednesdays.
Yes, sir. So I know we jumped around a lot right there.
Yeah, we're not going order at all.
I definitely contributed to that. So Monday FIFA, and it's all pretty much the same time. There'll be starting times about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. Monday FIFA, Tuesday Super Smash Brothers, Wednesday Rocket League, where you can see me and hear me. Thursday Overwatch, we can see me and hear me, and then Friday and sometimes on Saturdays will be our League of Legends. So really, shout out to EGFC and our fearless leader Tyler for coming through, giving us just a wide swath of esports stuff. You know, Tyler, man, the man, the myth, the guy who signs my checks. This is the EGFC, and we'll be back with you guys in just a little bit. Don't tune away.